Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode here at Last Week in Geek, courtesy of Manly Battleships. I'm Mr. Panda.
And I'm Roxstar.
For those of you who, for some reason, don't know who we are, but keep watching the video break videos and never click on anything else on the channel.
Why are you trying to be so mean to our viewers? Let them watch whatever they want to watch.
I'm not being mean. No, I was talking to someone the other day who had seen some of the videos on the channel and didn't know what your stage name was at all. It's like, who's that girl who's always doing the videos? I'm like, we got a couple different things going on today. Of course, if you didn't know, E3 has happened and a couple other game stuff, media stuff has been announced, so we had a lot to cover in a very short amount of time. Starting off, we have a new Minecraft release, Minecraft Dungeons, which looks a lot like a mashup of Minecraft and Diablo. Will it be good? Who knows? They probably spent a lot of time stealing player mods and just retrofitting them to their commercial game release.
You didn't say when it was going to be released. You were bad at this.
Why do you have to interrupt me in the middle of my stream? Fine, that's coming out in spring of 2020. Following that, we have a new game coming up called Gylt. G-Y-L-T. It looks kind of interesting, maybe.
You didn't even say where Gylt is.
No one cares about Gylt.
Gylt is a Stadia exclusive, one of its only kind right now. Who knows if they're going to be more in the future.
We don't care about that.
I was going to say, that's literally all you need to say. There's not a release date on it yet. Literally all you needed to say.
For that thing that Google's doing.
Stadia.
It's like Google Plus for the game console world.
They needed something to sweeten the deal, apparently.
But yes, Battletoads is coming out, and we also have Evil Genius 2 World Domination coming out. Looks a lot like a modernized version of Overlord. You get to be the supervillain, you have a bunch of minions to do your bidding. And let me tell you, the moment that any of you try to reskin the minions as minions, we're going to have a problem.
Not me. I'll play it.
Do you want to die? Do you want to die?
We knew Netflix was going to E3, and we knew exactly what they were going to announce.
As it turns out.
Stranger Things 3, coming out on the same day as Stranger Things Season 3, July 4th. So, if that's your thing, go and play it for the Nintendo Switch.
I just want new Coke.
Vampires, The Masquerade Bloodlines 2. That is a mouthful. I'm surprised I got it out in
Good
one.
job! Yay! We already announced this, but now they came up with an extended footage trailer, right?
Extended gameplay trailers. If you're into that, I'd go check that out. Looks like it's going to be pretty interesting to me.
Links down below.
Then we have Doom Eternal, which is the sequel to Doom 2016.
Because we needed another Doom game.
You know, the year of keep cranking out those IPs until they're all fresh out of ideas. That's coming out this November 22nd.
New Amazon Prime original series coming out called Undone. And the reason that we're highlighting this is not because of the plot per se. I mean, it's kind of a fantasy story, I guess. But what is important is that the show's unique method of animation, which is going to involve rotoscoping, which we haven't heard about that in quite some time, and oil painting backgrounds.
I actually watched the trailer. The trailer looks really trippy, and it looks really good, to be honest. I kind of like it, the unique look on the animation. Who knows if the plot's going to be any good, but...
From the producers of BoJack Horseman, so who knows? I gave Tuca and Birdie a shot, and that was alright, so why not?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this. We're going back to video games. Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga. All 9 films in one game. And you're probably thinking, why? You guys already had all the Star Wars in Lego form.
It's called Star Wars, the episode for more money.
I don't know. I've played 2-player Lego. I like playing it with Streak a lot. And let's just say I'm really happy that they're remaking the old stuff because, God, playing 2-player, I want to tear my hair out when it comes to Star Wars. It's so bad. Meanwhile,
George R.R. Martin has decided to work on something that isn't the thing that he's been working on for, like, forever. You know what I'm talking about. No, instead, he is on the production team as, I guess, a co-writer or the writer or the co-producer. Co-creator of a new game called Elden Ring, which looks like a high fantasy thingamajigger.
I don't know. It sounded very Lord of the Rings-ish.
I mean, it does have the word ring in it, and he has His two middle initials are RR.
I mean, and this seems to be the year of epic collabs because the other person working on it is From Software, which did the Dark Souls saga.
Oh. Which means the game will be impossible.
Yep. So not only will it have the high fantasy of George R.R. Martin, who's obviously trying to avoid Game of Thrones at this point, it's going to have the difficulty of Dark Souls. So if you're into that kind of thing, oh, I don't know. I'm not into hard games.
But it's George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it that way from now on. I'm going to say it that way until he finishes his books. George R.R. Martin.
How long do you think it'll take for him to abandon this IP? And move on to something else and never finish it?
Maybe if he gets bored with this, he'll finally go finish the book. It's like passing credit card balances between each other when you're poor.
Well, talking about some other unpleasantness, PETA. Oh, dear old PETA.
PETA just can't leave Pokemon alone.
No, they can't. So, of course, we all know that the internet exploded with the announcement of Wooloo. Wooloo, the new sheep-like Pokemon. Yeah, they decided that they were going to use Wooloo for one of their famous PSAs and had I am not your Wooloo sweater, talking about sheep shearing. And of course, the internet fired back because we're kind of tired of them using Pokemon for their memes.
I like that game.
Sure, I think you're like the only one. Yeah.
For those of you who harken back to a better time in your life on Nickelodeon when SpongeBob was the thing, congratulations. To commemorate the 20th anniversary of SpongeBob, not Rugrats,
20
not
years.
All Real Monsters, but SpongeBob, you'll be pleased to know they're doing Young Sheldon with SpongeBob. They're just going to go back to Camp Coral for a 13-episode series featuring baby SpongeBob, which I don't know how that works.
10-year-old SpongeBob, not baby SpongeBob.
It's baby SpongeBob. You don't know how old he's a sponge! He's not even organic! He's like 1,000,000 years old. Do you know what the half-life is on a sponge?
So we're going to see 10-year-old SpongeBob walking around camp doing all the fun camp things for like 13 episodes.
Means a lot of singing, probably.
Ooh, can we sing the campfire song?
No.
The X-Men animated series is one of the most beloved superhero animated series. So the creators want to bring it back with the help of Disney, and they want to actually pick up on the animated series where they left off. So it'll be just a continuation of the animated series, which I actually think I would look forward to that, seeing as that was one of the best iterations of X-Men that I know. A lot of comic fans love that. So
mostly we just really like the intro song.
Did you ever watch it?
Yeah, I watched the old X-Men cartoon.
You're starting to sound like...
I mean, it's the same
You're
thing.
starting to sound like an old grandma. Yeah, I play the Nintendos. Halo was amazing!
Listen, when weebs grow old, we're going to be talking about discs and no one's going to know what the hell we're talking about.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Speaking of Marvel properties, you were all excited to see Avengers Endgame, we assume. Some of you might have gotten a little bit angry. That's fine. But one of you out there decided to take your angst and your hyper-attentive tendency to just analyze movies and make an interactive, informative timeline of everything that happened in Endgame so that you can keep track of all the multi-layered dimensions and plot twists and plot holes.
It's actually really fascinating. It's a quick little tour. If you have some time, we actually did link it below. I would check it out. It's actually a lot of fun, and
it makes me justifiably angry.
I don't know. I think the person that did it in a very funny twist. I really like it. So I think you guys will too. Go ahead, try it out. More Marvel properties. Except this isn't the Marvel like you know it. This is Fox Marvel. Dark Phoenix bombs at the weekend box office, and they're expected to lose about $100 to $120 million when it's all said and done. This is the worst box office for any X-Men movie franchise so far. And this was their final chapter?
This was going to be the end game, if you will. one like on this video, and we'll watch it for the Saturday review video.
Oh, God, it's only one like?
One like!
No, I really, really
Do it.
really dislike the fact that they did Dark Phoenix again.
A long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, we told you that we would kind of keep tabs on this story. And honestly, we've been tired of it, so not really. But here's one update to the old saga involving Mignogna and Funimation and everyone else
and
on the
others.
internet. Funimation today submitted its filing countering the lawsuit that Mignogna filed against them, as well as other parties, but this one just covers Funimation. The gist of it is they're denying all his claims, and they have requested a jury trial. That's really where we're at. You can, of course, check out the full lengthy court document if you want, where they address the individualized claims and make some affirmative defenses. But for those of you without legalese, it basically boils down to, well, there's nothing here. If there is something here, it's not defamation because he brought it upon himself and actually did the things. Also, if we get found guilty for defamation, we are totally going to apply for a reduction of the claim because he's bad at filing paperwork. That's literally what it says.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, it is a long paper just to say that.
I hope I don't have to publish any more updates about the story at this point. But there it is for you.
Well, I mean, at this point,
we might be the first news source that even brought this out. So hooray for exclusives.
Well, I was going to say, at this point, we might have to, depending on how that court case is going to settle.
Please just settle and go away.
More serious things to talk about. There's a recent animation study that studied basically how many females are getting jobs in the animation industry. And let's just say exactly what we suspected, it's not good. A lot of the statistics are really, really low. Like under 10% for a lot of them.
And when you get up to the directorial level, you're talking about 5% for women in general. And
1% for women of color. So representation is definitely not there. The study is very skin deep. It just talks about the progression. What has happened since 2007 approximately. Well, link to the study below so you can read it more in depth. But it doesn't seem to have gotten at the real reasons why. They kind of try to by asking whether or not the women feel like there's a culture of
male-dominated culture.
Yeah. And of course all the females said yes, and they felt like they were token females in the company. But other than that, we really didn't see any causes, so that's one thing that I feel like the study was missing.
I mean, there might be some additional data they could pull, and tell you what, if you can get 10 likes on the video, we'll even do a deep dive. You miss those, where we actually start discussing the topic beyond just the news coverage and the witty criticisms? Yeah. Go ahead. Get 10 likes and I'll grant Roxstar her wish and do a video. Hooray. And ending today's episode is this quick coverage of lawmakers trying to fix YouTube. A bipartisan bill, and I use that term very loosely, it involves 2 Republicans and a Democrat, have proposed a bill that would force YouTube to fix its pedophile problem by making it illegal to recommend videos in which minors are featured. The 2 exceptions to that rule would be ones where minors are just randomly in the background and corporate-sponsored media like commercials.
Well, or like America's Got Talent, or...
I said commercials! I said commercials!
Old media. What this feels like to us is it's very old media versus new media, where... It seems like they really, I mean, I don't know what they think recommendations are going to stop the pedophilia problem.
Now, we did talk about this, I think, very briefly a while back, and I kind of still feel the same way in terms of, I get it that people are freaked out that, yeah, there are people out there on the internet jerking off to videos that show off kids. But the reality is that there's only so much you can do. I'm really not sure that this is the best way to go about it. And there's another part of me that also is like, as much as I understand people's distaste for what people are doing behind the scenes, how much effort do you really want to go through? I don't really get it. It's like, yeah, the same people who are clicking on YouTube videos for illicit purposes that aren't designed to do that are the same people who might go to the Redbox and pick up a Barney video and do the same thing, or the Teletubbies, or anything else that features kids, or a gymnastics video. Like, what are you really trying to accomplish at this point? I don't think that it's really worth going through this much trouble to stop.
And my problem is the lawmakers put a lot of the blame on YouTube, which feels a lot more like victim blaming than it does actually getting at the problem. It sounds like you're basically telling these kids, how dare you, like for instance, I made the comment of
video creators.
Ryan's toy review is one of the biggest channels for toy reviews. It's a little kid reviewing toys. So if this law goes through, his stuff will no longer be recommended, even though he's doing this under parent supervision, and it's not even anything raunchy that somebody might want to go look for. You're punishing actual creators who do actual things that people want to see, just for the few people who are dirty behind the scenes.
Misusing it.
Yeah, misusing it.
That's what it is.
For instance, like if you like jerking it off to women who do ASMR and you click on a bunch of ASMR, is it suddenly YouTube algorithm's fault when you get recommended a woman with ASMR?
I don't do that. I promise. That's all we have to say about it. We think it's a dumb idea.
It's an axe when you need a toothpick at the problem.
Clicking on ASMR videos is also dumb. Don't do that. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're done here at Last Week in Geek, and I'm going to strangle Roxstar off screen. So, see you next time.